Hello and welcome. As usual, I'm your host, Casimir Basilius, Imperial Lord. Anyway, well, we're having a few technical issues. There we are, fixed. Of course, it's been a while, so it's expected to have a few technical issues, but we return. I, of course, have been slightly busy off away on campaign, which is technically where we still are. We are broadcasting from my ship. Yes. And, well, oh, that's where we're broadcasting from. We're aboard my ship. Off on campaign against, well, the Systems Authority and their corrupt allies. Mostly the Systems Authority. But that's neither here nor there. Of course, we do have, well, we have lots of things we're going to ramble about today. It's just going to be a lot of rambling. But we, of course, have the lieutenant and a mech because we are on campaign. Yes, one can never be too secure. After all, an imperial lord taken to the field is no small thing. Yes. Anyway, so, what else do we have? Well, I messed up and forgot to open certain things. So, this will take a moment while it takes a moment to load, of course. But yes. So, hopefully it all works. As I quickly scroll through the files to find the right one. As happens, here we are. We're going to talk about quite a few things more than likely. There we are, that one will do. So, as it has been a while, unfortunately, well, there's good news and bad news. Good news. Theoretically, we're going to pick back up on things. Bad news. Unfortunately, much as I have been away on campaign, the mercenary we follow, Juliana Aldis for our solo Sundays, has been off doing missions. I mean, I haven't followed those missions either. I don't know what Juliana Aldis has been up to. I've been busy in my own missions. But we will see where Juliana Aldis is at some point. Which is probably going to be, who knows? We'll figure it out. But, Yes, she's been up to things. But, I mean, speaking of up to things, so have I. I've been up to things. As I said, off fighting in the field and all that. And of course, as I have been fighting in the field, we do have a, well, we do have a photo that was taken by one of our conscripts. Here we are, me off in the field, engaging in combat, as one does. Yes, because, well, I have gone down personally into the field on this recent endeavor, as you can see, leading the charge, as, well, as befitting of an Imperial Lord. Of course, in conscript gear, not my powered armor. I thought it'd be more exciting, going down in conscript gear, showing the conscripts what for. Of course, back in the day, I used to be a conscript before, before I was given my title of Lord. Yes. But yes. Yes. Anyway, let's get to rambling, as we are known to do, as we usually do, as we mostly do. There we are. Again, like I said, opening the proper file. Yeah, it is. This one? No, it is this one. Yes. There we are. Perfect. Oh, mm, there's one slight still. Like I said, things got ever so slightly shifted around when I was setting everything up. Um, like I said, it's been a while. There we, nope, there we are. There we go. There, and almost set. Which one is it? Hmm, there we go. There we are. Perfect. Now, assuming I do this right, there we go. Well, we've learned what layer everything's on. Makes sense. Have them step slightly out of frame. But here we are, on board the ship. Of course, we have the lieutenant and the mech as we broadcast live. Oh, we broadcast live from the ship. However, I suppose we should go with a slightly, ever so slightly different. Where is it? Here we are. Ever so slightly different token, shouldn't we? There we go. Yes. Anyway, back to it. Some rambling. There we are. So, yes. Um, the war has gone well. We're making progress against the system's authority forces. I wonder, is that in this file? Is that here? City. Should be named Warzone something, shouldn't it? Perhaps it is not here. That would be unfortunate because I could have sworn I prepared it. I mean, a while back, to be fair, but not the ecology. Look, we have a lot of maps. I suppose you can't see them. They're behind the dice roller. Anyway, where was I? Well, I'm just going to give it a quick glance and then give up. Yep, it's not here, or at least it's not easily visible here. So we shall ignore the location. Well, I suppose that's honestly slightly a better thing to do, to be fair, to ignore the tactical map. Crazily enough, I'm sure one of my commanders, not someone who commands, I don't, no, the people I give orders to, one of my commanders will complain about operational security. Yes. If I were to bring up the war map. So we'll do that at some point. I mean, it's not like I care. I'm the Imperial Lord. I give them the orders. So, it's not like it's that important. I mean, it's the operational security is important, but it is for me to show the map and the commanders to deal with whatever happens. But I suppose for now, I shall spare them from that. Yes. So, what else? What else? What else? Hmm. I am ever so slightly unprepared, to be fair. What's there to talk about? Oh, yes, the war. The war goes well. We've taken a few systems. Of course, I'm not single-handedly leading the war effort. I am, of course, working with a bunch of other Imperial lords against the system's authority and the corrupt. Mostly I've been fighting the system's authority, and progress goes well. We've secured a few systems. We're currently invading a world. Well, we're preparing to invade a world. We fought through the outer system to the inner system. They posed little threat, as expected from Imperial space forces. Nothing can stand against our space forces. And so, we move into, well, the planetary invasion bit. Of course, it was slow going, arriving in system, bombarding the outer stations. Of course, we did enter via the FTL lanes, as is proper. I say proper as in, like, if there were easy ways around that, it's easy to take those ways. But the way FTL works, as I'm sure we've been over, we've had an entire FTL discussion episode. Going off lane has failure chance, which can lose you an entire fleet if you're not smart. So, of course, we didn't want to lose a fleet. We wanted to go by the books, safe and secure. Of course, that risks I say risks, that means we entered where they would expect us to enter. Fortresses and all that waiting at an FTL point. We engaged those fortresses, smashed them, and then, well, smashed the fleet that was there, and then moved to engage at long range the response fleets. Moved in, secured some of the outer system planets and moons and worlds and asteroid fields and such. And I'm moving towards the inner colonized, well, every technically entire system's colonized, but I mean the capital worlds is basically what we're moving to. The inner system. Not always is a capital world in the inner system, of course. You have your capital, I say world, but object, to be fair, it's more an object, that's what we call them. Anywhere in the system. Um, but I mean, it's just slang terminology to say world. Technically, your capital can be a station, can be a moon, can be an asteroid, can be anything really. But it can even be, outer system, inner system, doesn't really matter. But ours is, of course, not ours, the mine is in the inner system, to be fair. But the one we're invading is also in the inner system. Different systems, of course. We're nowhere near my territories right now. But yes, we've invaded a few worlds, done a few things, and, well, here we are now, creating a system. Do we have that set up? Hmm. No, we don't. Hmm. We do not. Okay. Okay. Just trying to figure out what I did set up and what I didn't. And the answer is a lot. I could have sworn I set that thing up, but I didn't. Anyway, yes. So, back to rambling. So, we of course fought through several systems. Well, originally, we had to fight through essentially a choke point. Not in this system, technically entering via FTL lane, you're also fighting through a choke point. But I mean, basically, system-wise on a galaxy map, we fought through a choke point, which then spread out to various other systems that we were able to enter, fought through a few of those, and here we are now, of course. So, yes, we've slowly made our way. It's been a while. I mean, as you can probably tell, given that we've been away, it's been quite a slow process. I've been a bit busy. Like I said, been going down to the field a lot myself. A lot of orders, a lot of tactics, a lot of that. Eh, yes. But we return. Yes. Anyway, there's, to be fair, not much to go over this time. It's more just announcing that we've returned and that we are. Well, we're probably going to, at some point, cover some of our invasion. Like I said, we have another little plan, few plans to be fair, one of which being um, our campaign against the system's authority and the corrupts. We're going to cover a bit of that. We're going to try, no hopes up, but we're going to try and get back to news, covering the galactic news. Of course, we're going to try and follow Yulana Aldous some more world building, and of course, a new project, sort of, which is going to be tactical breakdowns, covering the war. Of course, being out here in the field has made me want to cover war. Not only our conflict, but war in general. We're going to cover all the various conflicts throughout the galaxy, the tactics, the things done, all of that. Sort of tactical breakdowns, if you will. Yes. Reports on battles. Because, well, if you can't tell, I do quite enjoy a battle and conflict. I mean, I do enjoy going down there personally with the conscripts and fighting on the front. So, of course, I will be a bit busy doing that still. We are still in the field, as I said, but we'll do combat breakdowns and all that. Yes. Hmm. Anyway, so yes, just a lot of combat, but it has been quite well. Brings me back to my conscript days, of course. Being in the field, of course. To be fair, it is quite the surprise to any enemies we go against. Quite the surprise. Because, well, while wearing conscript armor and using a conscript rifle, an Imperial Lord is, well, let's be fair. I am heavily, heavily augmented. I'm basically a super soldier. So, despite not being in powered armor, you see a normal conscript on the field, not knowing it's an Imperial Lord. Next thing you know, a shot from far further out than you would expect hits an enemy in the eye plate. Like, hits them in the weakest point from way further out than you'd expect. Just absolute shock. Just seeing the shock on the enemies' faces. And yes, I could have gone with various armors. I could have gone with conscript, powered armor, or caster armor. I wouldn't. I'm not a caster. I don't do the magical stuff. Never have, never will. Well, I wouldn't say never will. I could just go and get augmented to be able to cast. But no, I'm more of a fighter. By that I mean ranged. However, it's been fun using a rifle as opposed to well, I mean a normal conscript rifle, a Grand Empire assault rifle, rather than, well, a 30 millimeter, which is what I usually use in my powered armor. Just a standard assault rifle and a collapsible combat halberd, and a sword, of course. But it's been great fun. And the conscripts find it quite, well, to be fair, the conscripts probably hate that I'm down there in the field. Well, there's mixed feelings that was from what I've seen. You know, it's quite great to have their lord in the field fighting alongside them. You know, there's a morale aspect to that, but also the fear. The fear. You know, one doesn't expect to see the commander of 3-star systems, their Imperial Lord, show up and, give them orders directly in the field. I mean, it's not like any citizen of my 3-star system sees me on any given day. Of course, well, directly, of course, there are broadcasts, propaganda, all of that, of course. But it's not like I'm often seen personally in the field or even just around. So it's quite shocking, admittedly. Also, it's, let's just say, I usually have high expectations for my conscripts, given that I usually have a god with me of super soldiers and such. But recently, no, been going down without my gods. So, quite shocking and unfortunate when I, well, do as you see there as the recording shows, pointing and ordering a charge on an enemy fortress and so forth. But it's not like I don't lead the charge. I do. Anyway, yes. So it has been quite the thing to do. But I suppose, I very much suppose, given I don't really have too much to say, just mostly that we're back and that we have projects planned, and given that, well, the general state of unpreparedness, given that, well, mostly I've simply gotten a moment being back from the field, that we are going to try and get back to things. That's mostly what this is about. So, yes, as suppose we'll call it there. As always, I have been your host, Casimir Basilius, and I hope that you, yes, you, have had a wonderful day.